It's now 10 o'clock. We'll call our meeting to order. We do have a quorum. All 5 members are present. Item number 2 is opening prayer by John Pacheco of
Son of the Holy Spirit.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you, Father. Wherever he went, he escaped.
agenda item 5, public comments on agenda items. No one signed up. Okay, item 6, consent agenda. Everyone had a chance to look it over since it was too hot to be outside this weekend.
If nobody has anything they want to pull, I make a motion we approve the consent agenda.
I have a motion to approve the consent agenda by Commissioner Snuggs.
Second.
Have a second to approve the consent agenda by Commissioner Clement. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, 5-0. Item number 7, deliberate and consider possible actions regarding Main Street lots. This is for the parking lot? Yes. Okay. The question we need to discuss here is, do we need to go ahead and retain or at least get bids from engineering groups to do the engineering portion of that parking lot? Are we at a point where we want to go ahead and solicit those bids? Anybody have any input, thoughts?
I'm not exactly sure how the
As I understand it, we'll have to get this, have to go through an architectural firm for engineering design. I think there's a couple that are available to us. Of course, Komatsu does that kind of thing. I think locally, Justin Walterscheid also does something similar. He is also an architect. And we don't necessarily have to take action on this today, just something I'd like to leave on the agenda and be discussed and make a determination when we do want to start moving forward with the parking lot.
Do we have to put out a request for architectural bid? Is that what we do?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe so.
You need
We have
scope
to.
of work. Somebody got to write up a scope of work, or let the architect write up a scope of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walterscheid, they build, he's been building all the John Deere dealerships. I call them John Deere dealerships. What do they call them now? United Ag and Turf?
Yep.
So I know, I'd like to kind of keep it local as local we can.
I agree.
I don't have a
Just a
problem with
second.
that, but we don't.
Do what?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I've been talking to Mr. Walterscheid. He was supposed to come last week and look at it. Talked to him this morning. He said he just forgot. He was supposed to get with me this week and just come and look at it. And I'm going to, unless y'all tell me, I'm going to ask him to give a quote on what he will design the parking lot.
Okay. The only reservation I have about that is if he's the architect, he shouldn't be the contractor. Because one of them is the checks and balance on the other. So if he does one, he doesn't do the other, would be my
Oh, I
thing.
don't know about that. Does it
That's
have to
just-
be that way, Shelley?
Well, we'll have to bid it out,
I know you have to bid it out.
but, they'll have to, the architect/engineer will have to write the bid stuff.
Judge, did we skip down to a different item
Yeah, we did.
on purpose?
Yeah, I'm wondering what happened.
That's not on my deal, but
Say again?
Did we skip to go down to this item?
yeah,
You completely lost me. Are we not on item number 7?
no.
7, yes.
Seventh, the treasurer's report.
Oh. I apologize.
I thought, wait a minute.
Get back to the agenda.
Couldn't hear good, so we thought maybe we just missed you saying it.
I thought I was
I
lost.
thought I had a prior agenda or something.
And Commissioner Hollowell, I know the checks and balances, but I also know
Hang on a second.
when we picked Komatsu to go over here and do the upstairs, Walterscheid put a bid on that too, and he didn't have enough experience, I believe, was the common theme, and Komatsu knew that building, and I still haven't been told for sure whether we got the right floor joist up there with Komatsu, and I just don't get too wrapped around the axle about spending a lot of money on somebody that may not be any better than someone local.
No, that's not a money issue. I've made my statement, my concern. I'm done.
Okay, we'll come back to that agenda item, and I apologize, guys. I must have printed out the wrong
I was
one.
going to say, what are you on?
I'm now on item number 7.
Okay.
So since we've had pre-discussion on this one, that's good. Item number 7, deliberate and consider possible approval of treasurer's report for the month of May.
Make a motion we approve the treasurer's report for the month of May.
I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report for the month of May from Commissioner Snuggs,
I'll second that.
and I have a second from Commissioner Arndt. All in favor? Any further discussion? All in favor? Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item number 8, deliberate and consider possible approval of budget amendment for jail overtime through end of fiscal year.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You all have a worksheet that's, I don't know what you have in your packet.
No.
Basically, what Larry showed on his worksheet was his accrued so far, 67,000 in overtime. Divided that out by the first 8 months, it's about 8,300 a month that we're accruing. We've got 4 months left to go, which is 33,520 to staff the kitchen on weekends, holidays, to come into compliance in that area. It's going to take about 20,000 of overtime to get us through this fiscal year. Currently 6,920 underfunded, so he's wanting to move 60,440 into the overtime line item. Those monies are coming, I believe, Shelley, out of salary.
Out of his department, yes.
Yes. So we have plenty of money in there due to vacancies, so it's just a matter of moving funds. I would tell you that we had new staff in the jail today, hired today. We've got 2 in the background process that should be coming online pretty quick. They're also certified jailers, so they'll be able to start and help. We have another one that's also in the process, but he's what we call green. He will have to get certified in the jail. But anyway, just to let you know, we do have employees coming online and should cut down in that overtime area. So that's all I have on that.
I make a motion we approve the budget amendment for the jail overtime.
I have a motion to approve the jail overtime by Commissioner Snuggs and a second by Commissioner Hollowell. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, 5-0.
Judge, if I could ask you, up in the consent agenda, you all approved the interlocal with TCOG for 911.
Yes,
Their representative is here. I didn't know if you could,
there it is.
is that the sign?
It is.
2 copies.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming over, Peacock folks.
Agenda item number 9, deliberate and consider possible approval of budget amendment for EMS part-time payroll through end of fiscal year.
First of all, I don't think the mic's working up there. Sitting over there, I can hardly hear you guys. So just FYI.
I think that speaker
Oh, maybe it's the
is
speaker.
disconnected. Why is it turned, oh, it get feedback on.
Oh, okay, no problem. Just real quick, just to kind of break down where we've done it. I think it was 3 courts ago, I transferred $20,000 out of my line item, my full-time line item to part-time. So we broke down the numbers so far this year on COVID, between the COVID clinic and the time that cost COVID, we're looking at about $48,000. We've lost 7 employees this year, so we had to replace those, which we normally replace with part-timers, so we've had to rehire part-timers. And I've had 8 employees out on FMLA. So I'm requesting $60,000 for payroll and $45,090 for FICA. If we didn't have the $15,000 or $50,000 for COVID, we would have been fine, even with the $20,000 I transferred, but that kind of just ate into it. I said last time there was 13, there was actually 14 people out of COVID. Throughout the period, and that's just where I'm sitting right now. Right now, on my full-time line items, I'm sitting about $10,000 under budget, which should get us through the rest of the year. I would just, we're at $100,000 in part-time payroll now, so.
Shelley, will we get some of that back that's been submitted through COVID?
I haven't submitted it under the FEMA portion yet.
But we should get that, that should come back.
I will submit. But I took his out of contingency, where the jail had enough. His first budget amendment came out of, EMS's first budget amendment came out of his department.
Yes.
Where the jail's first budget amendment came out of his department. Now EMS, I've had to take it out of contingency.
So the total is $65,000?
Yeah, it's actually 60, well, it's 60, yeah, I put 65, but it could be 64,590, not that it makes that much of a difference. I just rounded it off.
Motion to approve the budget amendment for EMS.
I have a motion to approve the budget amendment for EMS by Commissioner Snuggs, second by Commissioner Arndt. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen, appreciate it. Have a good day.
Agenda item number 10, deliberate and consider possible approval of physical 22 TAC health insurance renewal notice and benefit confirmation.
Good morning.
Morning.
So we received the insurance renewal from TAC. The medical will increase by 8%, the dental will increase by 4.1%, and there will be no change in cost for the vision and the life and AD&D. New for this coming plan year, TAC is offering a voluntary life insurance and AD&D coverage. And if we have 20% or greater employee participation rate, there is a guaranteed issue amount of $150,000 for the employee. And then there's also coverage offered for the spouse and children. So there's 2 different policies to choose from. So the court needs to choose if you're going to allow the employees to participate in that voluntary life, and if so, which plan do we offer our employees? So there's a salary-based plan, and there is a plan that allows to choose in amounts of $10,000 increments. Other than that, the plans are the same.
And as long as the employees, 20% of the employees select it, 20% or more, they'll
Right.
implement it for us.
Right.
And it is voluntary.
It is voluntary, yes, and paid for by the employee.
And if we choose the one that they can do it in $10,000 increments, then they're not limited based on their salary.
Right, which I would recommend. It gives them more options to choose amounts of coverage.
Move to offer, or move to approve.
Which one?
Offer the opportunity for the employees to buy additional life insurance through TAC.
I have a motion to approve the additional life insurance through the TAC office.
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Clement.
And to be clear, our choice is to
Yeah, I
go
was
with
just
one
gonna
with
say-
$10,000 increments.
I was going to say, you didn't put that in the motion, that's why I said which one. I want to make sure we have it in there. It's in the
Okay, the 10,000 portion, is that what we're wanting to
Yes.
look at?
the
Okay.
one with the $10,000 increment.
Okay, let's start again. I have a motion from Commissioner Hollowell to approve the TAC health insurance in increments of $10,000. I have a second from Commissioner Clement. Any further discussion?
Does that work, finance people? Is that clear enough, HR? We good?
It's clear enough for me.
Okay.
Yeah, but you do this every day, so.
We just want to make sure we get the motion right so that we don't make a mistake on it.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 11, deliberate and consider possible approval of submitting application for FY21 unclaimed capital credits through Texas Comptroller's Office and authorizing county judge to sign application.
So move.
Have a motion from Commissioner Clement to approve,
Second.
and I have a second from Commissioner Snuggs to consider approving submitting application for FY21 unclaimed capital credits and authorizing county judge to sign application. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Agenda item 12, deliberate and consider possible acceptance of donation by Wildcat Creek Wind Project of 8,000 tons of reclaimed 245 flex base gravel with a value of $56,000 to Precinct 3.
I just want to ask what 245,
It's their base, it's what we use, 1.5 inch flex.
okay.
And it's what they're coming back in and picking up on approaches and all that stuff.
All the places they had to make to turn and everything.
Right. And he said 8,000 tons, but that's going to be probably approximately 8,000 tons. So, I mean, we don't know exactly, but that was their estimate. I told him I didn't want a bunch of dirt, so,
You gonna make a motion to keep it to get it?
yeah, because I got to put it on the roads that can stay up. So I make the motion, we accept the 8,000 ton.
Have a motion to accept the 8,000 tons of gravel by Wild Creek Wind Project.
Second.
Have a second from Commissioner Hollowell to accept the $8,000 or 8 tons, $56,000 donation by Wild Creek Wind Project. Any further discussion?
Is that going to have all that black cloth in it too?
We've been, yeah, it's going to have some of that in, which.
Where they put that stabilizer?
It'll have a little bit of that in, but we're probably just use it for base and then come over the top of it, and that'll just work in, or we can pull out.
Wouldn't make sense not to take advantage of it.
I mean, well, look at it, it's a pretty good donation from them to kind of a good faith towards us, so.
I don't.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Agenda item number 13, deliberate and consider possible actions regarding disposition of brush pile at Rice Avenue property.
Put this on here because I was contacted by the Caden Nursery that they are tired of looking at the brush pile right next to their shop. And I had told her that it had been, too wet to think about doing anything with it. So I guess we just need to decide if we're going to try to burn it, if we're going to try to haul it off, what are we going to do with it. team effort with that, but I say if the city will let us burn it, I say we burn it and get it over with. I guess there's 3 piles there. We could push, 2 of the piles are pretty close together. We could push them together and burn them all at once, and then the 3rd pile, which is over by them, we just need to, it'd probably be a spur of the moment deal. We need to pick a day when there's no wind or wind blowing away from their nursery to,
Can we push that pile away from them a little bit?
we could just take a little while. We could probably just, it's not that big. Probably take a skid steer and a grappler and dump truck. If it dry up, that's the problem. We could probably move it in 6 or 8 loads. It wouldn't take a couple hours, which I think would be a better idea than burning it right by their nursery and
Be considerate.
Yeah.
So we need to ask the city if we can do it.
yeah, that's the next move. So I think,
Rick wasn't part of the deal, as long as we didn't make the brush piles too big, they didn't mind if we burned them, but what do they consider too big?
That's a question you have to ask them, how big is too big? That's why there's several different piles.
okay, that's what
Yeah,
we could
it
do.
was, they didn't want us making them one big one, so.
Okay.
Don't just go shove them
The two
together.
right by the road are, they're smaller piles, so it wouldn't be any big deal. I don't want to, the one that's near her, I would hate to, the smoke to blow in the wrong place and.
Yeah.
But you're
Call it
right, if you
stink.
catch the wind, right?
Yeah, and it might be one of those spur of the moment deals where we just have to just go do it and let somebody sit there and babysit it,
But I just want you to be careful shoving them together, and then all of a sudden they say you made it too big and you gotta take it back apart.
Yeah.
Did we kill the trees in the fence row?
We sprayed.
Did you spray
Did
them?
you sprayed them good?
Yeah,
I know you said you were going to, I didn't know if
we
you
did. I haven't been over there to look at it. You, Rick? I'll drive by there after the meeting and see what it looks like.
I mean, I'm like y'all with, with everything we've had going on, finding some guys to go babysit a brush pile is gonna be tough, but
Just the initial flame up, no
Yeah.
breeze,
yeah,
that burn black area. Y'all the firemen.
I'm retired.
It's too hot now. We could have done it with marshmallows in the winter.
So, I think I'd just like to make a motion that between us, we can get together and burn them when the time's right. That sound like a worthy motion?
You don't give it to somebody, it won't happen.
I hate to,
Somebody needs to revisit the city.
yeah.
Somebody needs to do that, and then tell them, hey, we'll do it. It'd be an impromptu thing based on wind, so we.
Well, I'd like to put the county judge, have to call the city.
Okay, yeah, I'm good with that.
But maybe between me and Adam, we can figure out, we can get it burnt.
Yeah.
It's your precinct, and she's got my number.
What we might do is try to do a training with the fire departments. See if
I
they want
mean-
to come out.
That would be
Some
fine
of
too,
them, yeah.
if they wanted to come out and burn it. That way we didn't have to mess with it.
Yeah,
And burn it on the weekend when there's no wind.
Yeah, I can try to line up a training with several of the departments. That way we can watch it and use it as a training tool also.
Yeah.
Well, if you had a couple of apartments, you could burn them all at one time.
Right.
Fire them all off.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good with that too. Well, okay, so my motion should say, I make a motion that once the city judge the county judge talks to the city and everything's good, that Commissioner Arndt will put together something to get it burnt with the local volunteer fire departments.
All right, I have a motion
Get all that, Pam?
to burn. I'll condense it for you maybe. Have a motion from Commissioner Snuggs to burn the brush piles on Rice Avenue after approval from the city, which Judge Starnes will coordinate. Thereafter, Commissioner Arndt will coordinate the burning of the piles.
I'll second that.
And I have a second for what I just said from Commissioner Arndt. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item number 14, deliberate and consider possible approval of lease agreement for 2021 John Deere 672G motor grader at a cost of $28,913.31 annually for 2 years for Road and Bridge Precinct 2.
With if something was better with the residual value on a lease, if we only did 2 years, it kept the annual cost down for this. And so, and if I were not to be here in that second year, it would only leave my predecessor with 1 year. So I thought that was good. But I like the lease program. It keeps us in a new blade for the warranty to do the daily work. And I make a motion. No, am I allowed to make this motion? Yeah. Okay. I make a motion, we approve this lease.
I have a motion to approve the lease of a 2021 John Deere motor grader.
Second.
And I also have a second from Commissioner Clement to approve the lease agreement for a 2021 John Deere 672G at a cost of $28,913.31 annually for 2 years. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Aye. And I have one opposition for. The opposition is Commissioner Hollowell. Item number 15, deliberate and consider possible actions regarding the Potter Cemetery. I don't really have any input at this time. The young man that is coordinating this is working with the Texas Historical Commission to start the paperwork for historical designation. I do know that much. And Representative Spiller's office is helping to coordinate that for him. So that's kind of where we're at. Does anyone else have any input on this? I did speak with TxDOT, and they didn't see a problem at all with doing a little turnout there, and they'll do it once we get the historical designation and get the sign up. I guess the other question is, do we need to move forward with having it surveyed? And what is the process to do that? Somebody help me with that?
We'd have to get Delbert West to be the person, he's the county surveyor.
Do we
You got all the legal documentation, don't you? Cemeteries.
We need to get the survey done, we just need to get Delbert out there to the points and mark it on.
say again?
I said we need to get Delbert out there and mark the points on it and give some meets and bounds description that we can identify.
So you ought to give Delbert West a call.
Okay. Is that something that will need a budget amendment? Does he usually charge for that?
He's the
Okay.
county surveyor.
He's going to charge you.
He's going to charge you.
He may be the county surveyor, but he's
But
going to charge you.
he's going to charge you.
Shall it need a budget amendment?
No.
Shouldn't. Shouldn't.
Probably have money under professional services.
Okay.
Just need your PO.
You're talking about me.
No, I'll take care of it.
You're looking at me saying that.
I'm looking this way. I'm not.
We're kind of in a row here.
Yeah. Well, you have to see which way our eyes are shifting. Sometimes it's hard to do at this distance.
All right.
It's my beady eye.
Yeah, I never said that.
Shifty eyes.
I never shifty eyes, so you missed that.
You must be feeling guilty about it.
Oh, no. I just try to keep track.
Okay, I'll make the motion that we get our Surveyor West, to come out and do the Mets and bounds. Is that correct?
Yeah.
On our Potter Cemetery. And I will do the PO for that action.
Second.
Have a second for getting the Mets and Bounds done for the Potter Cemetery from Commissioner Clement. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Item number 16, which was previously known as item number 7. Deliberate and consider possible actions regarding Main Street lot. So, back where we were at, as I understand it, we need to get an architect to come in and give us proposals as to what will need to be done to turn that into a parking lot. And I'm assuming a couple of different iterations as to entrances and exits and those type of things. So what I'm asking the court is that something we want to go ahead and try to secure an engineer to start looking at that?
We have the money in the budget this year for that?
No.
Postpone to September. Is that what we need to do?
We got the money to get somebody on board to design it, do we not?
We can, no. We didn't buy them till the end of last year, so it went in the budget. We can do a budget amendment.
I was going to say, we can do a budget, but okay. Let me rephrase my question. Now you know why I watch which way your eyes are looking. So we don't have a line item for that.
Not currently, no.
No, but we could do a budget amendment to get someone on board to give us the design. If we wait until October, it'll be sometime next summer before it's ever done.
That's correct.
All right. So do we need to do the budget amendment before we have someone come out and start applying?
Yes.
All right, so the next meeting, we need to do a budget amendment. But it's not going to hurt if somebody like Wallerscheid looks at it to give us a rough estimate of what it might cost if he's not charging us anything. Anybody can go look at it for free, right?
Correct.
All right.
Okay, so is there a motion in all of that, or is this a no action?
That's a bring it back next meeting.
Okay, with a budget amendment.
So I have a question. When Mr. Walsh comes, what am I supposed to tell him we need from him?
Just a rough estimate of what he thought it would take to do it.
The architectural on it or the hotel?
I'd like to get somebody to give me an idea of what it would cost.
Turnkey, though.
But can he give, Shelley,
Yeah, that's kind
can he give a specific proposal for both the architectural work and because that's a bid, or same thing as an independent, not, in other words, that's a
For
violation
the
of,
construction?
yes.
No,
No.
not for the construction.
So we need to limit it to architectural assessment, is that a good term?
He can't give us a quote of any kind. I think it might cost $100,000 to do
Well,
this.
he can give a cost estimate on,
That's all we're talking about.
yes, he can,
We're overthinking all this.
yeah, just, I think it's gonna cost $500,000 to make, build a
I mean, across the street upstairs, we've had so many drawings done by different commissioners and the county judge and everything, and now we're trying to get somebody just to look at a plot of empty ground.
Yeah, no, he
Okay.
can say, I think it's gonna cost $500,000.
It shouldn't have to be this difficult, people.
No, he can do that, yeah.
Anyway, okay.
He can't quote and say, I'm gonna build it for you at
Exactly.
cost of whatever.
Okay, so for item number 16, we're going to take no action, and we'll bring it back to the court, next court, with a budget amendment.
Sounds good.
Item 17, deliberate and consider possible actions regarding the Crest building. Anybody have any input on the Crest building? We did get approval to go ahead and do it during the daylight hours. I sent that to you before I left town.
We got, let me go there.
Okay? Yes, please.
We got the approval from TxDOT to do it. So I contacted the contractor. So supposedly, they're putting the signs out. I don't know if they're out yet. They have to be out 10 days before they can start the construction, notifying people that the road will be shut down at a certain date. And that's where we are. Haven't seen signs, but that's what's going to happen next. They put signs up, wait 10 days, and start the construction. They've already completed the piping inside the building. So now all they like is in the street, across the sidewalk, and tie in under the building. They are going to put a valve in the sidewalk. That valve wasn't in his original bid. So to add the valve is $1,300. So we either need to find a place to put the money, get the money for that, or it'll just come out of my budget.
Can you help us with that, Shelley? What do we need to do?
What do you need?
It's $1,300 to put a valve in the sidewalk. So that's something that's come up. There's a valve in the street, so he didn't bid that because there's already a valve. Well, when TxDOT decided they wanted to move that valve and so on, the discussion back and forth, the final conclusion was that if we put a valve in the sidewalk, the TxDOT's okay with leaving the valve under the street.
We just gotta have 13.
This is part of the fix.
Yes, part of the fix too.
Are we paying for the fix out of the building line, purchase of the building line?
I don't know where that's coming from. It's $30,000.
Yeah, there was a budget amendment, I believe, but I'll have to look it up
I
from
don't know what
previous
line.
court.
It's not coming out of my budget.
Wherever we're paying for the purchase of the fix of,
The big fix,
the
yep.
fix we'll pay for it there.
Okay.
Who,
Golden Triangle,
we're paying Golden Triangle to put the,
whole pipe
The
in
valve in
and the
the
valve
sidewalk?
and everything. Yes.
so it's gonna be a change order to their contract?
Yes, that's what it would be.
Then we'll just add it to their PO.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll need an official change order paperwork from them then. Okay. All right.
So your crew that's gonna do this, when the sign appears, no matter when the 10 days is up, they're gonna be ready to come and go to work on it.
They told me they were ready. So they would do it before, but they have to wait 10 days after they get the signage up.
Yeah.
I haven't seen signs, so I may call him again today. And
So you're gonna let them know when the sign goes up? So they know when the 10 days is
no,
up?
they're the ones putting the sign up.
Oh, they have to put the sign?
They have to put the signs
Okay.
up. They have to do traffic control and everything.
Okay.
Turnkey. Yeah. Other than that, that's where we are on that project.
I make a motion that we allow Rick to turn in a change work order for the additional valve on the side of the road. Did I miss something, Rick?
I did.
Okay.
There's ivy, some kind of vines growing all over the back
Yeah.
side of that building, all over the north side of the building. It was growing up under the cap on the roof, so we pulled some of it loose because it was pushing the cap loose. When we did, it fell off of the back of the building, and it's piled up behind the building. And there's another building that's on the north side of us, and it's laying on the power line that goes to his building. So I'm going to get a hold of somebody today to go there and help. I don't know if we can do it. There's a bunch of it, a truckload of it back there. I may even have to get a tree trimming company or something to come and get it off of there. But I don't know if there's any action y'all need to take, but any advice you have or whatever, may even need a bucket truck or something to help get part of it. So, but I'm going to look at that today and see what needs to happen before we have a bigger problem back there.
Anybody have any advice here? Or we ever had this kind of situation before?
Never had that many vines before. That whole back of that building is solid covered in vines.
Do those vines need to go ahead and come down and prevent this stuff from happening in the future?
Are they all down now?
I can't get back there because you can't get the back door open. But
Okay.
they're piled up in front of the back door, but we are going to spray them and try to kill them whenever we get it.
Put them off the ground? Maybe,
Yeah.
you can get to it.
If we can get back there, there's a gate that won't allow us in there. But the guy I talked to, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Trey?
Yeah, he's the one that called me. It's his building that
I bet he has a key.
yeah, he says he can get me in there.
Okay.
He's okay with them coming down?
He wants them, they're laying on his power line.
Yeah, but I mean,
Oh, to get rid of them?
yeah, if they're on his building, he's not gonna be upset if
They're on our building.
They're on our building, they're falling over.
Falling on his
Gravitating
power
to
line.
his.
Yeah, they fell on his power line, so it amounts.
In other words, we're causing him a problem.
Yeah, and he's not upset about it or nothing, but he just brought it to our attention.
So I would kill them with some brush killer after you get them cut off.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of vines they are, but they're very prolific.
I just thought maybe they migrated over to his building also.
There could be some at his building that would be for him to deal with if it's on his property, but
But your plan is to get rid of all of them that
Yeah.
are on the Crest building?
absolutely.
I don't think they help the brick any anyway.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They grow in any little crack,
get in
they'll
every
grow
little
in there and
crack
start
and-
putting pressure on it.
Yeah, we don't need to leave that there.
No, they need to go away. Anyway, I just thought
What about the roof? Did we ever have that looked at? No.
no, they're coming, when they do the pre-construction on this courthouse, they're gonna look at that. We're waiting on that.
He's gonna say, what year is that gonna be?
It's in his court now. Everything's been approved, and he's supposed to be coordinating that.
But with all the rain that we've had, we've seen no signs of leakage anywhere?
No. Courthouse never has leaked. The annex building.
No, I'm talking
leaked.
about the Crest.
Oh, the Crest building, no.
That's what he's talking about.
Water
is the Crest
stands
building.
on it. Water stands on about one half of one section over there, pretty bad. Water stands on the awning out front as well.
Pooling?
Cooling, yes.
So there's no reason at this point for us to spend money to get somebody to look at it immediately when we can get it for free?
Correct.
Is that what your
That's the
recommendation
deal,
is?
Yep.
Okay.
If we want him to do it right now, he'll do it for 2,000. If we wait till he's already here doing this, he'll do it for nothing.
Okay. Sounds like we should wait if it's not leaking.
Yeah. No, it's not leaking.
Okay. Thanks, Rick. Okay, do we need a motion on the Crest building for the change in scope of work?
Change order.
Change order, I don't know. Shelley, you said we'd just throw it in with the,
Yeah, they just do a change order.
Okay, then we'll
The
take,
court need to approve the change order, not about the money, it's the court need to approve the change order.
If they send it through, needing it signed, then you'll do it at that time.
thank you. So we'll take no action on the Crest building and leave that for following agendas. Deliberate and consider possible actions regarding Annex. I know you guys love it when I have a handout, and I do. You don't want that one? No, that one. Okay, I received an email finally from Julie Bolding, who is the engineer that was looking at the second floor north side, and as it applies to the trusses that were installed, which we've discussed earlier, they're actually 80-pound per square foot trusses, and we paid for 125-pound trusses. But the bottom line is that the trusses that we have up there will not sustain the weight that we currently have in the storage areas for the county clerk and the district clerk. Rick got all of the information, and we sent it to him last week. We are far in excess of what's allowable. She's doing some more research based on the 40-pound boxes to see exactly how high we can put them. The assumption on my part is we could go too high, but I'm not sure that that's even correct. So I've asked Rick to get over there and see if we can start spreading boxes out. And we may have to move boxes. I want him to coordinate with you, Pam, and with Marcy to see what you guys want to do. But we do need to spread out some of that load according to this email, unless the court thinks otherwise. My recommendation is that we spread out some boxes. Now, I know that it's been that way for 9 years, and we haven't seen any physical damage, so there's a lot to be said for that. But in the end, we have an engineer now that is telling us that that floor is overloaded.
These are the same people who told us we could put up there whatever we wanted. Now what do we do? I mean, seriously, other than, I know you're going to have to do something about the weight, but what's the remedy? Because we paid for something we don't have.
Well, I've reached back to Komatsu this morning, asking Rick to get with the contractor, and our request is for him to correct his error. So I'm waiting for Rick and the contractor to come back.
Well, I know in the last meeting I said I want to see him up here telling us and informing us about it, and one of the commissioners said, well, they don't come for free, but I don't think there's a free involved in this. What if that would have fallen in on somebody? I don't know. I think, county attorney, couldn't you write them a letter if we have to or something?
Sure.
I mean, do you all just want to let this go? Do you think we ought to get reimbursed? Do you think we ought to?
My personal opinion
Broke the contract.
is that we need that floor to be able to sustain the 125 pounds per square foot that we paid for, because we need that storage in the configuration that we currently have. Like I said before, I've reached out to Komatsu this morning and told them that I want the contractor to fix it, free of charge. In fact, it's in my email here, I think. Rick did send me something. I just saw it on my email. He is unable to come today. If you notice in my email, I asked him to come today. Also asked him to reach out to the contractor, and that we were expecting them to put the right trusses in at no charge. Now, I don't have any feedback from any of this. If you look at Julie's email, I didn't get it until Sunday night at 8:35. So this is all new, but yes, I agree with you, Commissioner Clement. This needs to be fixed, or in my opinion, it needs to be fixed. Compensation would not be acceptable because we need that storage.
Unless we can find a change order that we signed off on.
And there may be one, I don't know.
I don't. Because Commissioner Hollowell and I went through this when we had that done, had those storage rooms put over there, and we were told we could put pretty much anything we wanted to. And the reason there's not more up there is because the city said we couldn't put that much paper up there. Weight-wise, we were supposed to be fine. Anyway.
Mine's only 14 foot across. If I was to move folders, I don't have a shelf on the one side. Just bringing a few boxes on that side, would that make a difference? And just a
No.
Total weight.
It's total weight in that room.
But if you just distribute it, he's talking about moving, right? And distributing a little bit, it's not going to distribute it very far. 'Cause it's
No, I don't know if that's going to help
I
it.
don't know if that's worth.
But it's going to have to come out of the room, a portion of it.
What did they say about the north side?
North side, they claim we got what we paid for. That the 2 to 12 structures are correct. That is what we paid for.
And the south side is where the problem is.
No, I'm sorry. North side. Other way around. The north side is incorrect, wrong trusses. The south side is correct. We didn't put 125 pound trusses under it. We just put additional 2 by 12s under it, but they are correct. That's what we paid for. On the north side, we got trusses that were rated at 80 pounds per square foot. We paid for trusses that were rated at 125 pounds per square foot.
Okay.
But I noticed in this report on what they intend to do for the JP office, they're going to have to do a study to see if we need to redo those floor joists or trusses, whatever, on the south side to see if it'll hold up what we want to put up there. That was also in that one report, that they still have to decide what we need to do over there. The problem is, I have a problem with trusting anything. Now, anyway.
Okay, we're going to take no action. I assume at this point we'll leave this on the agenda, and I will keep everybody advised as I receive information.
We pay dearly for Komatsu. That's why I'm concerned about who we get to do a parking lot. I don't necessarily need the biggest, fanciest firm, but I sure hope we get somebody that we get what we pay for. Anyway.
So does this door deal go in here now?
Oh, yes, before we leave yes, good point. I apologize. Rick, you want to give us a briefing on the door on the annex?
I think so.
So we're talking about the door that goes from the sidewalk into the hallway, where we directed traffic all last year into the tag office. So that door is wore out. It wasn't able to handle all that traffic that it got last year. And we work on it, and there's really, the design of it, there's really no good solution to it. So I got pricing from two companies, Gainesville Glass and Bates Glass Works, or whatever the name is, to just replace it. That's to take that one out, put a different type lock system on it, and a different hinging system on it.
This one should last longer?
This one will last longer. This is a better designed product.
Now, this is the doors going into the JP side, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
down the hallway.
Right. That's the
side.
doors that got the increased traffic because
Correct.
of the screening process. Okay.
Yes. What it is, it's a pivot type hinge with an internal closer on it. And that's problematic. And then in addition to that, the lock mechanism is not a very good quality lock mechanism. It's what was on it, I think, when we bought the building. And originally, it's been there ever since I've known of us having the building. It just needs to be replaced. I was going to wait till next year's budget, but I get calls every week that it either locks itself or they can't get it to unlock or whatever. It's a problem. It needs to be replaced.
How much was that?
5,500 is the cheapest quote.
5543.
What was it?
5543.
43.
Highest is 6475.
Yeah. Do you have the money to do it?
It could come out of my 350 building repair line item.
I'll make a motion, we do it, if you've got the money.
Just one other question. Is this going to be compatible to the magnetic door system
Yes.
if and when we?
More so than that one is. Yeah.
Which one do you want to go with?
The cheaper one.
I'd go with Gainesville Glass.
Okay, I have a motion from Commissioner Clement to change the door using the one from Gainesville Glass.
Second.
Have a second to replace the door at the annex by Commissioner Arndt. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item number 19, deliberate and consider possible actions regarding county radio communication system. Do we have any update from anyone on, I have a little bit of update, and I don't even know if it's applicable or not, but I did finally get some information from the oil field, from Ortec. They do have generators, lots of them for sale, and they have some that have very low hours to nearly no hours, but they are on trailers, and they are, I'm assuming, diesel for $8,500. I'll get more information on those between now and the next court, exact hours, and verify that they are diesel. So that may disqualify them Because we had talked about previously that in extreme cold weather that diesel turns to gel. I don't know if there's a way to keep it warm enough that you won't have that complication, but I'll try to get that information for the court in between now and our next session. Anyone else have any updates on the radio communication system?
Has everything been surveyed and all that stuff out at Civil's Bend? Do we have it, all that nailed down?
Okay. Just kind of a rundown of last week's meeting. They talked a little about the civil work. They will send a different group of surveyors out to do a topographical map and site inspection. Have a subcontractor named Leo that is going to do the mapping of the Rice Avenue Tower. That'll be necessary, to locate where the repeaters and stuff are. We're still waiting on structural analysis from Pentex. Rice Avenue, I've got a site drawing now for Rice Avenue. What is not included in their pricing is the propane tank with the concrete pad.
How big a propane tank?
They're not defining that, but I'm thinking, what, 250 gallon?
I got 2 of them at the barn. I mean, fix to put in an auction probably won't bring much. I can pull.
Do we need to inspect them, or what if they got inspection stickers on them?
They're pretty new.
Who's your propane supplier out there?
Enderby does it now.
Okay.
Got to be careful with old propane tanks.
The ones that tells me we're going to have to provide that with the concrete pad.
I'm just saying we have a tank
Yeah.
that we're using instead of me selling them
Yeah,
and us buying new ones again.
it makes sense.
Could you reach out to Enderby and ask them to inspect them?
That would be the thing to do.
Because they can probably come on site and inspect them. If there's a good one, let's save it.
I mean, they're both exactly the same.
How big are they?
250s.
That's probably big enough. Run for that.
So propane tank, concrete pad installation's going to be on us. Now, the generator, because the court, I think we discussed, we're going to put a generator out there. Judge, we need probably some feedback on that pretty quick, because here's the next decision. Rick's done a research, and delivery on a generator is 22 to 24 months. I'm sorry, weeks. So if we ordered it today, it wouldn't be here, and it's not in anybody's budget at this point in time, right, Shelley?
What?
This generator, in other words, the question is, with the 22 to 24 week lead time, assuming we couldn't use something from Ortec.
Right.
We can't wait till September, October to order it. So the court,
We can do a budget amendment if we have to, can't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
but in other words, do we want to wait 2 weeks down the road to do that and give the judge an opportunity to talk to Ortec? Or if Ortec is diesel, do we want to rule that out and go with propane?
I would.
What size are the ones from Vortex?
30 kW.
You're saying rule out diesel?
I would rule out diesel.
Because a brand new one's $15,700 installed, I believe is what I told y'all last court.
If you have the opportunity to go to propane, I'd go to propane.
So if they're not propane, then, and I bet they're not coming out.
Oh, they're not. They're going to be decent.
They're going to be diesel.
Okay.
Tell me the price is going up every day also.
So do we need to go ahead and place that order for that 30K generator for out there?
Sounds like we do.
Sounds fine to me. Not that I don't want Vortex generators, just,
I mean, man, I'd like to go at a lesser price, but if it doesn't work when we need it, then that's a problem.
Because you'll still have to buy the connect and all that.
I'm sorry.
You'll have to buy the connect and all that.
Switch
automatic
gears.
switch.
Well, and what we want to do on this propane tank ultimately, we want to monitor on, like we've got on fuel tanks now.
Yeah, Enderby does that on mine.
If you're gonna put a propane in Rice Avenue, there's natural gas in the other one.
Well, if you already got, okay, there's natural gas there.
That was the natural gas. So instead of getting the
I have enough
propane
volume.
tank, you could do a line.
Do what?
Will it have enough volume?
I don't
Run
know.
both of them? Both, I mean, if one goes, electricity goes down, they're both going to be running.
Well, you have to put a different regulator in.
Yeah.
I lean toward going with propane, putting a monitor on it, and then if the line gets cut somewhere, we still have a generator. Gas line gets cut somewhere, we still have a generator.
That's in the city limits, correct? The city limits, do they involve, can we set propane in the city limits?
I don't know.
That
But
question needs to be asked. I don't know if you can or not. I'm sure you can, but.
I don't know, good question.
I'll take that action.
I wouldn't be sure of
Since
any.
I'm talking to him anyway about brush.
Why wasn't this generator in the bid for the tower? Is it not, because it's not new construction, we're having to bring this one
No,
up?
the initial thought was that we would run it off 30 WTMS and it will handle both.
Okay.
That's what we was talking
So
about.
the other towers have the generators bid, we just have to select which one we wanted? Okay.
This is the one that
I
does.
was thinking that's what the deal was.
Propane tank, everything, as far as I know, is been on all the rest of them, and the generators. And see, they will have the standalone cabinets with climate control and all that.
Right. Because it'd just be out there by itself.
So, in what order do we need to do the budget amendment before we do the PO for the
Yes?
generator? Or we don't take it out of another road money? And we're gonna have to backfill it at some point if we do.
I don't know if I put, off the top of my head, I don't know if I put a little cushion in there or not. I'll have to look.
If you will let us know what we need to do, and if Rick will purchase let's get that generator ordered, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Can you put in a PO, Rick? Is that what we need to do, Shelley? And then you'll tell us if we have money or not?
If y'all can stall.
Because it was 15.7, I think, installed. Now, we don't,
Not include propane or anything.
It's one of the things
Right.
we do best is start.
right. And if they want to, propane company's still going to want to do that, but not the generator people. I mean, not the-
Generator people won't do propane.
Right, so, they're in the process of doing the environmental studies. That can take up to 180 days. So, it's important we get these contracts in place with the property owners. Surveys are done. There's some question about Civil's Bend as to whether or not we need to survey that oilfield access road. And you reached out to the property owner recently?
No.
Okay. I've sent him an email, so I'm waiting on some feedback from him.
Why would we need to survey the access road? Just to have it officially in part of the contract?
I'm sorry?
I said, I'm just thinking out loud why we would need to survey the access road. I guess just to have it as part of the
You just
easement.
want documented easement, so if
Yeah.
the property changed hands somewhere in the next 15, 20
You would
years.
have to.
Unless, like I said, we're able to do an aerial photo and describe it and spell it out adequately enough for the lease.
Meets and bounds descriptions.
Yeah. All right, well, would that be good enough from an aerial photo, or should there's?
The surveyor can get some meets and bounds off of that. The problem is that land is based on title,
Yeah.
meets and bounds, not
Yeah.
programs.
Yeah. So if Delbert can take,
He can. It's going to cost about somewhere between $700,000 and $1,000 additional money to go to find that road. So Anyway, if the property owner owns it, I may be able to do it with an aerial. We did receive, this is an estimate, don't go spend the money yet, it should go toward covering the cost of our radios, about $100,000 in credits, assuming we do the civil work for the sites. The civil work and the reduction in the training. Received an email Friday from Motorola. We had identified some storage areas for some equipment, and they just wanted to confirm that we were still good with it. Radios are going to the sheriff's office, Sally Port. Coax spools and stuff of that nature is going to the precinct 1 barn. The cabinetry will go to Shipment Communications for them to begin to put all the stuff in the cabinets, consoles and stuff for them.
We need a small budget amendment. There's $6,566 left. So if you want a cushion, you need about $10,000.
10K to purchase the generator. Okay.
Anything else on the communication system?
That's it at this point. I'll probably talk about it some more in executive.
Okay. Is there any action needed taken here, or just leave it on the agenda and have the budget amendment on the next court? Is that where we're at?
Yeah. I'll handle the budget amendment, Rick, if you'll. No, we can't do the PO if we get the budget amendment, so.
Yeah, can you do it under this action?
I'm sorry.
Can you do it under this action?
What do you mean?
Oh, can we go ahead and approve the budget amendment because it's part of the radio stuff?
Fine with me.
Yeah.
We just need to do the paper on it. In other words, I'd make the motion that the court ratify the signature for the budget amendment. Is that what we want?
Well,
I mean, if that's what we need to do.
Rick?
And I'll get a new quote for that, base the price up a little bit. Told me it was only good for 30 days, so
We may be in that window.
maybe.
Yeah, if we are, we need to get it ordered, yeah.
All right, what do we need to do to get it ordered today?
just, so, let's do the budget amendment for 15. Just in case, and the price is gone up.
So I have a motion from Commissioner Hollowell for a budget amendment of $15K, so Rick can put in a PO for the generator.
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Clement. Any further discussion?
Do we want to add the propane and all that into it while we're doing it? No?
Well, the
But
15,
you're not gonna put it in use just yet.
yeah.
We got time.
No, we won't put it in until after September, October.
So he's
Yeah,
gonna-
we can,
He's gonna see if we can put a propane tank in town. We're gonna.
Yeah, we got time on that. We don't have time on the
I'm sure
generator.
your tank is good,
that you can still, in other words, move forward, and get the tank inspected if you'd like.
So, start over again. I have a motion from Commissioner Hollowell to do a budget amendment for $15,000 with Rick putting in a PO for the generator. Have a second from Commissioner Clement. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I have one other thing under, we haven't left this agenda item. Rick brought to my attention this morning that the AC unit that we have out there is not keeping up with what's out there.
Out where?
Rice Avenue, I'm sorry. He gets an alert.
The radio bill.
In the radio building.
Yeah. In the
It's not.
shed.
We got, yesterday, he sent me an email.
Yeah.
The sensor I got sent me an email if it gets above 80 degrees. We got 24 emails yesterday saying that it was above 80 degrees. So that, and the little small ones, the 8,000 BTU window unit in there, it's not keeping up with what's there now. So if they're going to put bigger equipment that puts out more heat, we're going to have to address the AC issue.
And it's not a simple cavity thing, it's apparently framed in.
Yeah.
So,
It's cut through the wall.
yeah, so might look at maybe a mini split.
My question to them is, what are they going to put, how much heat's it going to put out? The equipment that they're putting in there, that will help us determine how much cooling capacity we need.
Yeah, we better find out if it's going to draw that much more electricity, it's going to give off that much more heat, because what they're putting in there apparently is going to consume a lot more electricity than what we're used to.
Well, and the fact though that one's not working now, it'd be like it was at one time we went out there and it's off. That's
Oh, last summer it was off, yeah.
that's crucial to have that AC. So I'm gonna, there's a Motorola meeting this afternoon. I'll ask them if they can address that, and then it'll be on the court to, but it sounds like, now Rick says they're gonna check that one out and see if there's anything wrong.
We're out there a while ago, just make sure it's working.
Yeah.
They haven't turned as cold as it'll go.
We will do that.
Well,
We will do that.
I would make sure it was on high as cold as it goes, so it can really freeze it down at night. Maybe it'll stay up with it.
Well, we don't know if it was working in the past, because I didn't have a sensor in there in the past. Now I have a sensor that's telling me what it's doing, and it's not keeping up.
I mean, you'd think typically they do that by square footage, right, a unit, well, I guess that's before you do the formula, put all the heat in there.
But that was a new unit last summer,
We put brand new one in.
because the other one went out. When did you put the sensors in there?
Last fall sometime, October, something like that.
But rather than, it sounds like to increase the cavity, we'd have to cut out some framework. It might be cost effective just to go with a mini split.
Does everybody know what a
Appropriate
mini
size.
split is?
Nope.
That's those little, I call them suitcase units. In other words, you've got a regular little compressor and a fan, only a smaller version of a big house unit, and the fan and the console and everything just sticks inside the wall.
Nothing outside?
Well, yeah, the compressor and everything's outside, and they look like a little suitcase kind of, they call them mini splits or suitcase units or
It's
whatever.
a smaller version of a regular house.
Yeah.
I checked on one of those at one point in time for a 15 by 20 room, and it was about $1,500-$1,600 to
Yeah.
get it installed. Well, these AC units are, they're gonna junk out on us regularly. Maybe
Yeah.
consider a mini
You
split.
don't have to run any ducting or anything, it's just, it'll have a plenum and a control head inside the,
The heat and air company can work on the split.
Yeah.
They will work on it.
yeah.
Gotcha.
It's a mini air conditioning system, yes, ma'am.
Rick, when are you expecting California to be closed?
I'll have to call today, find out when they're gonna put the signs up.
They're up.
They're up.
Yes, FedEx just came in our office and said there's signs up about California being closed.
it'll be 10 days after they put the sign up. There should be a date saying when it will be closed on the sign.
That he just came in our offices in California to close.
Yeah. It'll be probably, they probably put them up to date, 10 days after the date.
They're up.
Good.
The week of June 28th. Sorry.
So no action on item number 19? Or are we back?
There is some action.
Oh, yeah, the budget amendment. Let's start all over again. Are we done with that? Okay. Item 20, deliberate and consider possible actions regarding various grant funds. Shelley, any updates?
There's no update on on the first FEMA. They have paid us for Precinct 3's projects again that he was paid for around the 1st of May.
You want to talk about it?
Be careful.
I notified them. Their response was, we don't show that any money went out. Are you sure it's not just a notification from the bank?
Can you get
So,
us all a check like that?
huh?
Can you get us all a check like that they don't know they sent out?
Sure. So, I let a couple of days go by. I did notify them that we actually received the funds. They said, thank you, we'll check into it. I haven't heard back from them, but I told them I wanted them to take the money back. So I'll check with them again. The closeout documents we signed for project worksheet 554 for precinct 4. I got an email on Thursday. They said that time extension went through June, and the last road I submitted ended October, and now they want a small time extension from June to October.
Well, there's more complicated than that. You surely saw what Kelsey sent Amber.
No.
Maybe you did not see that. I'm not even going to try to read it. It's a whole list of roads, precinct 4, and a bigger list for precinct 3. I haven't figured this out, that they need all new time extensions for, from back in 19. And Kelsey talked to Amber. Amber said, we haven't figured out what the deal is. They want to do a phone meeting with 3 and 4, and they're going to help us get this written properly to make them happy. So now they're asking for, and you'll love this one. We were always told we didn't give enough information. They're complaining we gave them too much information. They don't want all that information in detail about what we're going to do. So,
Well, the email came from a new lady,
well,
so I don't know if we're fixing to have another changeover.
Well, Kelsey's still involved, and she seems to know what she's doing, so we're going to try to get together with her sometime this week and try to figure out why we're redoing time extensions from 2 years ago. I don't know.
She probably needs to be in that meeting.
Yeah, we may need to have you in there, too. Hopefully tomorrow. I don't know, Amber was going to see if she could get it together tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't get copied on any of that.
I'll try to send it to you.
I don't understand. You going to forward it to her?
Yeah.
I didn't look to see if you were on it.
No.
I wasn't here. I got it on my phone and read that and said, oh, good grief. Now we're redoing time extensions.
Okay. Well, that's where we are on the 2015 flood. On the 2020 COVID, I still haven't submitted anything. On the CARES Act funding, we did receive our payment of $899,052, so that grant is closed. that one can come off the agenda. The public safety COVID grant, I submitted our final reimbursement of $3,094.09. We received that money today, so that grant is closed and it can come off the agenda. The CTIF grant, I haven't submitted anything. The elections grant, I've submitted most of it. I'm still looking for the final $1,400, and the American Rescue Program grant is new, and I still haven't put anything together. They finally came out with a formula, Excel spreadsheet formula on how to figure our lost revenue, to figure out how much we can spend locally. That came out on Thursday. And so I took off Friday, so I haven't plugged that in yet. So that's where we are on the grants.
Thank you, Shelley. We'll leave this on the agenda, no action today. It is 11:23. We will go into executive session with a 5-minute break before. Okay, it is 11:49. We will go back into regular session. Agenda item number 22. Are there any future agenda items that need to be added? Anybody have anything? All right then. Item number 23 on the agenda, adjourn.
I make the motion to adjourn.
Proudly second it.
Having a motion from Commissioner Art to adjourn, seconded by Commissioner Snuggs to adjourn. It is 11:50. We are adjourned.